Playing with the stuffed animals, they all had names. They had council meetings, basically, like town hall meetings where they decided rules for the room. Usually I approved those rules.
I've always been a pretty big blanket kind of guy. So I had like a blanket that my grandma gave me when I was little that I still have, but all like the inside lining came out, so all the fluff is like in one corner of this blanket, so I can't really use it anymore. But it had a bunch of pictures of like zoo animals on it, but like cartoon zoo animals, not real zoo animals. And so that I pretty much had with me all over the place. I was a big, do homework, bring a blanket, watch TV, bring a blanket kind of guy.
A nice jewelry box there to keep all my trinkets and everything in. 2 big windows so I could look outside and peek on the neighbor that I had a crush on.
Yeah, I would always try and make sure that, like, my room, at least I had, like, a path clean, because I used to sleepwalk when I was little, and I would sleepwalk into my mom's bed somehow, amazingly. So I always had, like, a clear path, even if my room was messy. So.
Well, I have white walls, and I've got a chalkboard, and I have something on my walls that says Maya, and I've got a bookshelf, and...
Oh my God. Ugh, it's so gross. It was such a pale pink that you couldn't tell that it was actually pink unless you put like a white piece of paper up to it, and then you were like, ew, it looks like a grandmother like died in here. And and there was this very floral and ribbony like little trim that went across the top, and I just remember I hated it. And the funny thing is, the house that I grew up in is the house that my dad grew up in. He bought it from his parents, and so I live in my uncle's old room, and all I could think is like, I don't even know what strange things went on in there, and growing up teenage boys, and then it was my room for quite a while.
So he was up in the top, and I was the last kid getting to bed. And we had bars on our windows, though. And the bunk bed is close to the wall. So I was climbing up the bunk bed, about to get to my bed. And I slipped down. I slipped and fell. And I fell like against the bar on the window. And I guess it had like a little sharp part at the edge. So I know it just sounds scary, right? Like, how like what's gonna happen? But so I slipped against the bar, and when I fell down, like I cut my butt. So I had a small little gash in my butt, and I had to go get stitches in my buttocks.
I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle house that my mother built because she built my sister a dollhouse from scratch, and it was pretty amazing, like 2 floors. Rooftop, like pool, it was crazy, and I was jealous. So the next Christmas, my mom built me a Ninja Turtle house. The jealousy never left, so the Ninja Turtles decided to ransack the Barbie house, and I used markers to pretend they graffitied all over the house, and my mom was not happy about that, very upset. We turned it into a horrible sort of a rundown building with the Ninja Turtles.
That house, our first house in Michigan, out of many, was when my parents got divorced, and I remember that was the first time I saw my dad cry, because he was reading me and my sister a book in my room, like right before bed or something, and he just broke down crying. It was in the middle of their divorce, and we didn't even know he was crying. We were like, is he laughing? Like, because we had just never seen that before. And I remember him denying it many times and trying to finish the book, but he couldn't do it. I think that's one of the strongest memories from that house.